Hey, what's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today? I want to welcome y'all to my channel, In the Stars. On this channel, I'm going to be talking about astrology. Now, I know a lot of you are familiar with your sun sign / zodiac sign, but I'm here to give you a more in-depth outlook to astrology as a whole, because there's so much more to astrology than just knowing about your sun sign. So, if you're interested to learning about what influences you, other people, events that take place in the world, or if you just want to be more knowledgeable about astrology, or if you just want to pick up some extra knowledge in general, or you just like to hear about astrology, then this channel will be for you. Trust me, you'll like it. So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all know a little bit about my background in astrology before I continue. I've been studying astrology for about 15 years now. I find that to be interesting because my dad, he does astrology too. Like, he reads it, studies it, practices it, does birth charts for people, and teaches it. Now, I didn't know those things until after I started doing astrology. And I found that interesting because he never raised me to do astrology or tried to influence me to do astrology or anything like that. It was just something I picked up on my own, something I wanted to learn more and more about on my own. So I always wondered, I say that was interesting because I always wondered, was that a coincidence or is that a genetic type of thing? But anyway, so let me get into this first episode. This first episode is called Introduction into Astrology. So, astrology first started off millions of years ago. It goes back to some of our earliest civilizations, or earliest ancient civilizations, if you will. The earliest civilization that we can date astrology back to for certain is ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians used astrology in their culture. And the Greeks, if you're familiar with history, learned a lot from the ancient Egyptians and took parts of their culture and knowledge and implemented it in their own culture. And one of the things that the ancient Greeks took from the ancient Egyptians was astrology. That's why our constellations are named after Greek gods and goddesses, which also come from our zodiac signs, which you would call Western astrology to today. In this day and time, I'm sorry. But, the ancient Romans took knowledge and teachings from the ancient Greeks. And they took astrology from them as well. And then other European countries did. And then America did. So this teaching of astrology was influence of astrology has been passed down from civilization to civilization. Each one just implementing their own little bits and new pieces into it. But pretty much what Western astrology is today has derived predominantly from Egyptian astrology, or what we call Egyptian astrology. So, and that's why we call it Western astrology now, because it's predominantly in the Western hemisphere. And that's what we predominantly use in the Western hemisphere. So, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Sorry, I just had a real quick brain fart. But that's what I'm going to be talking about on this channel is Western astrology. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many different types of popular astrologies that's around the world in other cultures, Chinese, Vedic, etc. Like I said, I'm going to be mostly focusing on Western astrology. I might devil into other astrological teachings in the future, but for now, it's just going to be Western astrology. Okay? So, what is astrology? Astrology is a form of divination and or / interpretation. Now, one would get their birth chart or natal chart based off of what time, location, and date a person was born in or born at. And depending on that time, location, and date, it would also depend on where the planets were aligned at that time frame, because our planets and stars are always constantly in motion, just like everything in the universe is. So let's say you were a Sagittarius, which means you were born between late November to mid-December. So that means with you being a Sagittarius, that's your sun sign, which would mean that your sun was in the constellation or shifting or transitioning or aligned in the constellation of Sagittarius the time you were born, which makes you Sagittarius, or what makes another person this or that, so on and so forth. And this is how you also get other planets or placements in your chart that give you other zodiac signs, which is why you're not just a Sagittarius, or you're not just a Scorpio, you're not just a Capricorn or Aquarius, so on and so forth. And so that's pretty much what I'm going to be talking about on this channel. I'm going to be breaking down astrology as a whole and talking about many different things to look for in your own birth chart. Having fun with it, like maybe talking about finances in your chart, money, which is the same thing, career, romance, so on and so forth. So like I said, I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this. This will be a new journey for me. And I'm glad and excited to have y'all on this journey with me. I hope you guys like the content that I put out. And if you like, I hope you like this introductory video as well. So if you do, press like on the description box below. Click on the description box to see my social media pages if you want to follow me there. Comment if you want to let me know something. And subscribe if you want to be in tune with more future videos. I hope you guys like this video again. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace and love.